All right, here we go. We're back in the saddle, folks. New year, new me. You know, you never heard that before, have you? Right? So, trying a little something new. I'm trying to get video with the audio as well. So, maybe I'll do it as YouTube kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm playing with the computer here, trying to learn, trying to better myself, trying to get in the tool bag and sharpen the tools. You know what I mean? So, last episode was December the 7th. We took a break. We did the whole Christmas thing. Uh, all the family and whatnot. Well, I say family, but not like extended family. But um, we did a huge vacation and tried to shoot for the, as they say, we tried to shoot for the stars kind of thing. Uh, we had the best intentions, but hey, I hate to be that guy that's like, well, you know what? If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all, buddy. I don't want to be that guy, right? But it was a positive thing. I learned a lot about not having power and water, and did that whole jazz. So anyway, we're just gonna dive right into it, man. I've been out of the game for a while with the podcast and videos, so I'm uh, I'm just we're going all in. We're going all in. Uh, and you're seeing it and you're hearing it. So full disclosure. But what we'll do first, we'll kind of, like I say, it was a while back on the last episode. So this episode, we'll kind of dive into a ton of stuff things that have happened in that time frame. And one of the things we did on the Instagram thing, you wanted to talk about our vacation, uh, kind of like an extended family kind of thing. So, how do we talk about that? Where do we start? Let's see. I don't know. A lot of people are probably familiar with Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area, right? So we booked a cabin, and we were going to try to do a little something different. Just because kids are younger, a lot of our kids are really young, um, and it was more about experiences than just items, right? So it was more about like the time because I'm getting a little older myself, and my son is as well. My son uh, that I had prior to Susie, he's 8 now, and so I feel like yesterday he was just born, but it's just so freaking quick how he's growing, and it's nuts. So that was our whole thing behind it was like, well, let's let's go, have an experience. You know what I mean? Like I've never done that. I've never had a vacation on Christmas. And so Bentley's kind of, I would say he's kind of gotten the uh, short end of the stick in the way just because his birthday is December 26th. So, he's got Christmas and then the birthday's like right there. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know, in my mind, I was like, well, maybe this will be cool, and you don't know. You just shoot it. You just plan. Uh, cherry lemon syndrome break. Hold on, sponsor. They're the sponsor of the show. So you don't really know. You know what I mean? Like you shoot for the best, and that's what comes out with it. But we booked a whole cabin, right? And I say we, myself and Susie, her son Matthew, and my son Bentley. We kind of had the plan of going together, right? And so Bentley's mother Amber and her fiance Chad, they were coming as well. They have two other children, um, both very young, a little boy and a little girl. And then Chad has a daughter from a previous relationship, and she's a little older than Matthew. So I don't want to say names of everybody. So I don't want to, like, I don't know. You know how some people are. So we all kind of just said, you know what, I've never done this before. It could be really cool, you know? So we book it. Everybody's in agreement. We go to it. We're like, yeah, heck yeah. So, I have a little small dog here, and Amber and Chad, they have another small dog. Um, so going down, it was myself and the dog in the truck, right? And then Susie was generally in front of me most of the time, and she had all the kids besides the two really young ones from Amber and Chad's side. So I say that now I'm getting a phone call while I'm recording this, and it's great. Uh, so I have to call him back. E, if you're listening to this, I was recording this right when you called me, bro. So I'm driving with the dog, and then we got the Christmas, and we got the birthday. So I've got all of those gifts in my truck. So it's just me and the dog and the gifts. I was essentially like Santa's sleigh, so to speak, right? And then Susie's got all the kids, so that was an interesting ride. Now, mind you, it was extremely peaceful for me because it was like it's a little over 3 hours. So I'm listening to podcasts and stuff. I got the headphones in. I got the dog. He's over there snoozing, just snoring out, and we're rolling down on the way. We make it there, no problem. And we noticed that right away when we get there, it's cold. It's really cold. Like we're talking uh, single digits. So I was like, shit. And then we kind of knew, when we were going into it, because you always look for the weather, but I feel like the Weather Channel people, and I don't want to shit on them, but I feel like it's the biggest guess, so you don't know. So like when we booked it, we didn't have any kind of like bad. Oh, this is horrible. The worst snowstorm ever. Low temperatures. Like, we didn't have all that. It was just more or less clear, partly cloudy. But then, as the first few days get into it, they're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be cold as shit, buddy. Good luck. Anywho, we get down there the first day. It's just myself and Susie and all the kids, more or less, except for the two young ones. Um, so we go just do all kinds of stuff. Any kind of alpine coaster or, whatever. We go did the whole Paula Deen. We did the Guy Fieri, which I didn't know. That was a new restaurant. I haven't been since then, so that was awesome. Welcome to Flavortown kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, really cool spot. That whole island area is really nice. And then there's just a lot of nice spots that we were kind of able to get to, but then kind of able not to, just based off pure weather. We were kind of limited. When it's 7 degrees, you're not at. Oh, let's go do some polar plunges. Like you're not out there doing all that crap. So we go through it. We're doing all that jazz, and we get some things that are fun that are outside. We get those knocked off the list early. And then Chad and Amber get there as well the following day. So then we were able to kind of pick it up with them. And they had the two little ones. So to me, I was kind of worried on that just because you don't want them out there in that, you know what I mean, for long periods of time. So a lot of the stuff we were doing was all like inside stuff. Like, uh, they had all kinds of stuff, man. Like snow mountains, like you slide down hills and all this crap, but it's all indoors. And then you have I forget what it's called. It's across from the upside down house. It's like a camera thing, how it works. So they talk about like it's almost like a kaleidoscope bridge kind of thing. It's really cool. It's really neat. There's just tons of things that you can accomplish where you don't necessarily have to be outside. But that's when it starts getting a little. That's when things start getting a little hairy, right? So the second day we get, we're at the cabin, everything's cool. But then we notice the second day And the cabin wasn't like the best thing in the world, but it wasn't the worst thing either. You know what I mean? Like I've stayed at way shittier places. But then it starts going downhill. So it's like you'd walk into the cabin and you would immediately just smell the the sewer. Like it's like you could just smell it. And I was like, oh. But then by that time, our power starts going out. We start losing power. And then on top of that, your boy here, I didn't think about it. So shame on me. I didn't do the whole, open all the cabinet doors and then like leave the cabinet doors open and then put a drip. Put a drip on the water. You didn't put a drip on the spigot. I didn't do all that. I didn't think about it. Um, because I'm thinking about having a good time and having Christmas. You know what I mean? So it's like, so we go completely, we go to wash our hands at one point and flip the spigot, and what do we know? No water. So I was like, shit. No power, no water, and we got like 10 people in this joker, plus 2 dogs. So no power. Okay, right? No power, no water, and all these people. So, well, here I tell you what, we're gonna take a break, and then we'll pick it back up right there after this. Just a word from the sponsors. Oh Lord. Okay, so if you're watching this now, you're gonna see the part now where I like record a commercial and create a commercial. So we'll see what happens here. We'll probably upload this to YouTube, I would imagine. I'll see how to do it. You know what I mean? I don't really know how to do it, but we'll figure it out. So on the back end, you're not seeing right now, I'm processing everything that I just recorded, and that will be the first segment of the show. I feel like it would be cool if I could like take the camera and like maneuver it, but the camera's on my computer. It's my webcam on my computer. Um, there's gonna be somebody that watches this and be like, "Oh my god, this guy's so stupid. He didn't have." I mean, all you have to do is just get like a CP3 file and then just download and transfer it over in your Megadraft. And then once you're able to do that, you could just, I mean, my god, you could go anywhere with the camera. It's just so easy. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know why this guy's having so much trouble. If you're that guy, can you please just call me? That way I can, you could help out with the show. I'd really appreciate it. I'm telling you, I'd really appreciate it. So what I'm doing is I recorded that segment. I took that segment, put it into the podcast, right? And so now, Banter with Barlowe, you get a Banter Barlowe exclusive commercial. So, what we're going to do is we're going to create one. Now, how do we create one? That's where it gets a little tricky. Okay, so now what I do is I just open up the skull cap here, and I just pull it right out. There we go. And so we'll see what we got.
You need some vegetables in your life?
Oh my god. Susie, this show's sponsored by Fried Rye. Shut that door, will you?
Come on, King.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Now we're going to create our commercial. Let's see. Let's see what we got. And I'll put music to it. I'll do all that. Do you like smooth jazz? I'm Randy Tarkenton, and I play the mouth clarinet. House of Smooth Jazz. No, I don't know. I mean, that's a funny character, but, we'll see what we got here. Oh, God. This video is going to be fantastic for sure, yeah. I can't wait to see it. It's phenomenal. Let's see. Here we go. Library. We're going to our library here. maybe we just put in a little augmented. I think what we'll do for the purposes of television and for the people at home, we're just going to go with the prior number here. Let's see what we got. I don't like that one. So let's see what we can come up with here. We're going to go with another one here. We're going to come up with one here. Don't you worry. All right, let's see what we got. I think I'm going to throw back my boy Don Juan DeMarco because I'm gonna create another episode with Don Juan DeMarco where he's calling in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record it on my phone, but I'm gonna be in like a car dealership parking lot. So you hear like the shit in the background. Jam to service, page line 1. You know what I mean? Crap like that. I don't know how to do all that, so I just go find it, and then I just. How do you do it? I just do it. We got Big Bad Bad 99.3 KFM. This message is brought to you by the House of Rock 99.3, right? Good God Almighty. Okay. That's hot. Holy Lord. We're gonna go through. We're throwing Big Bad Brad in the morning. All right, so that's gonna be on the show, right? So now, what we'll do, we'll put that in the right. So we'll mix it. We'll drag it over here and we'll create it. You're seeing it here live, folks. A lot of shows are not going to show you this, right? They don't want you to know it. They don't want you to live it and know it. But I'm an open door. You know what I mean? All right. Well, let's see. I need. God Almighty, man. I need an audio guy. I need background music. I need a damn. This is my girl's earrings back here. What the hell is that? What are you looking at? You know, this is where I sleep right here. Now, mind you, you can't. The bed's further back, but I mean, that's not a, that's a buffalo in that picture. That's not a car. It looks like a car. But I watch it. This is my television right here. It's wall mounted, so that's pretty cool. This is so stupid. Nobody has ever said, "Oh, what's going on in there?" This is the studio, guys. This is it. This is what it's all about, man. This is where the Banter with Barlowe was created. This is what it's all about. I just want to bring you guys into it and just have y'all be involved in it. What other podcast does this? I don't know one. And there's probably a reason why, Jim. So let's see. All right, so now we got our commercial. We got that. And now what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll re-record, right? We'll come back with the second part. And then pick it back up. Pick it back up right where we left off. And you might say, okay, well, where did we leave off? How do you know? All right, here we go. See, I'm playing it right now. That's the whole episode right there. Okay. right? Oh my god. Fried rice, green beans. We're doing it up. Oh my gosh, you got sesame seeds on the top. That's awesome. All right, let's see. All right, now we're gonna roll it back up, right? Let's rock. Let's rock and roll. All right, we're back. And we're back. 99.3, giving you all the jams. No, that's Big Bad Barrett, and I don't want to take it from him. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're going back to Gatlinburg. Everybody's in the house. We got all the kids, all that. And then we run into the whole dilemma of, well, we can't flush the toilets because we don't have water. So, this is where your boy right here, with my got a lot of mechanical knowledge. Okay. Now, I'm not a licensed plumber, but I can tell you this will work. You can do this right here and it will work. But we were at the point where it's like, okay, well, we don't have any water. We can't flush the toilets. The water's not going back up in the tank. So you can't, if you go poo poo, it's just going to sit there. So I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, what the hell? What are we going to do, man? Merry Christmas. you know? We're up in the cabin, no damn lights, freezing to death, cold as hell, no water. Hey, it's all about the experiment. Experience. Hey, this is one you're not going to remember. You're not going to forget. You're going to remember it. You're not going to forget it. That's for true. I felt like old Clark Griswold. I swear I did. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. What can we do? And I got to thinking. I said, okay, well, in my mind, I was thinking, well, we've got these gallon jugs of water. We could pour the water in the tank of the toilet. And I was like, okay, but that's fresh water right there. We don't want to use up all our water. And then where are we at? You know what I mean? Now we ain't got no water. And then what are we going to do? You don't have any drinking water, anything like that. So I thought to myself, I said, well, when that water gets out of that gallon jug, I've got a hot tub out here that is, got 1,000 gallons in it or something. I don't, I'm not. If you're into hot tubs and stuff like that, don't come at me, because I'm giving wrong statements of gallon sizes. You know what I mean? Don't lash out. Mr. Barlowe, there's never been 1,000 gallon hot tub. Okay, I'm telling you right now, we don't make them. Anyway, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. Now the water in the hot tub has not froze yet. And it's still decently warm because the power would come on for a little bit and then the power would stay out and then it would come back on. So it wasn't like it's just a solid block of ice out there. So what I did was I said, well, wait a damn second. I took the gallon jug, put it in the hot tub, got that thing filled up with water, and then went and poured the water from the hot tub in the individual tanks of the toilets. So you could flush a toilet and then it would, go. God almighty, boy. Susie, when she signed up, she knew that she was getting looks, right? Right off the bat, obviously. I mean, but then brains as well, I'm what they call a triple threat, okay? Somebody's going to call me, Jimmy, if you put that hot tub water in there, that has got chlorine and chemicals, okay? And those will eat the valves straight up out of them tanks, okay? And you'll bust a valve. I've seen it 1,000 times. God Almighty. Anyway, old Brainiac here saved the whole damn vacation. People were able to use the bathroom. They were able to do a number one or a number two or a combination of both. And it was a Christmas we'll never forget. I can tell you that right now. However, we kind of, we got that situated. And then we went to another place for dinner. It was called the Old Mill. I don't know if you're not familiar with it. It's a really great place. Um, really good food. And it was a really, really decent price, especially for what you got, I felt like. Now, somebody will probably talk shit about it and say, oh, it's horrible. Why would you ever? I would never go there. Well, that's you. I went there. I loved it. Anywho, we did that. We kicked that off. The following day, no power, no water. And there's like nobody coming. So people were like, I haven't taken a shower, blah, blah, blah. So we just called it. We kind of got together and said, you know what? Let's just open the gifts. And then we'll just, there was a grill. So we grilled out. And let's just make the best of it. And then after that, we'll roll to the house, where there is water and power. So in the end, we opened all the gifts, did the whole Santa thing the following day at our individual homes. And I think if anything, kids had a really good time. And I feel like if anything, they learned about, I hope they learned about appreciating some of the small things, which to me are not very small when you ain't got it. Power, water, nice warm bed. You don't smell poop when you're laying in your house, things like that. I feel like it's all about, oh, what you get, what kind of toys did you get, blah, blah, blah. So you don't really appreciate the whole, the little things. And so I feel like that was a really cool experience, so to speak, I don't know. Ask Bentley this 30 years from now and then say, I remember that one time my dad, what the hell? He's out there with a gallon jug and he's filling up the hot tub. He's doing what he could with what he had. Anyway, crazy stuff. Oh, Lord. So that was a trip. We really enjoyed it. I don't think we're going to be picking cold places in December very much. So the next one might be the beach. I don't know. Right? It's wherever you want to go. So I just wanted to talk about that for a good bit. And then I wanted to get into some other things that have happened. We've got a ton of crap going on. A ton of wrestling stuff has happened in that month past. I don't this is not really like a wrestling podcast, but I was just saying that there's a lot of things that have changed and people come and go, and there's a ton of that. So I don't know. Most of the people that listen to me, they might not be into that. I don't know. Football wise, we had one guy that it was a crazy game. I was going to talk a little bit about that just because everybody and their brother's talking about it. Really wild sight. I've never seen anything like that. He got hit, and he was making a tackle. The dude gets hit. Next thing you know, the ambulance and everything is on the field, and they're doing CPR. So in turn, I believe everything has come out since then, and they have said that he had a cardiac arrest, and crazy stuff. I'm not trying to get super technical because I don't want to be, don't misquote me or whatever, but he is now doing a little better. So thank goodness for that. But there was a lot of heat. I watched this show on ESPN called Undisputed, and Skip and Shannon, and the guy named Skip. He's like a media reporter. He's been doing reporting for longer than I've even been alive. And he posted a tweet, and he got a shit ton of hate on him for that. And I kind of don't really go too deep in what people say on tweets, just because anytime you have like a text, uh, I'm guilty of this myself. Like that's why a lot of times when myself and Susie, if we're talking, I prefer to talk on the telephone just over a text because when somebody sends a text, you the reader are putting that emotion or whatever it is into that text, whereas the person that typed that, they might not have even meant that. And there's a really funny Key and Peele episode where they did this, where the guy's like, I mean, I don't know, dude, whatever you want to do. And so the guy's reading it, he's like, I don't know, dude, whatever you want to do. What? And he's like acting like he's yelling at him about it when the dude's just like, yeah, man, sounds great, whatever. So it's it's uh it's really weird because now there's like this huge conflict over Skip Bayless and his tweet, which I don't know. I went back and reread it a few times, and I think I understand where he was coming from, or like what he meant by the tweet. I think what he was saying was, this is an absolutely horrible thing that happened, and in the midst of that, he was like, obviously they're gonna. I think what he meant was like, obviously they're gonna cancel the game, but like, how can you think about canceling the game of this magnitude? Like this game was like a really big game, two big rivals. A lot of things were up for grabs on the game. So I think a lot of people took it out of context, but it is what it is. Sometimes you don't want to type stuff like that. I don't have a Twitter. Um, I don't know. Maybe I should get one. I don't know. Who knows, right? But I wanted to just talk about that because I like the show. Because in the follow up of that, Shannon didn't come on the show the next day, right? So he automatically just sits out. Like he's just going to be like, Skip, you better take down the tweet, blah, blah, blah. And so the next day on the show, he didn't even go to it. He's not even there. Which you could in turn assume that he was pissed by Skip's tweet. And then the very next day after that, Shannon does show up on the show. And then, like, the first words out of his mouth were that he was hoping, Skip would take the tweet down and blah, blah, blah. And Skip interrupts him immediately. And he's like, well, I'm not going to take the tweet down because I stand by what I said. Which good. I mean, good for him though, dude. If you're gonna lay it out there and be like, "Hey, look, this is it." Hey, I mean, you kind of gotta respect that. The man said what he said. It is what it is. I mean, hey, you interpret it how you want to interpret it, I guess. But I thought that was pretty damn bold of him. But anyway, they get into a huge scuffle, or not a scuffle, but like a huge verbal argument. They're like raising hell, which is what they're supposed to do, right? Because now, it. I hate to say this like this, but like immediately they knew exactly what they were doing because they took an accident or whatever you want to call it. The guy got hurt, and now everybody's talking about Skip and Shannon show immediately. They've just parlayed it, and so it's smart, man. It's kind of like how when the Liver King he got caught in all this shit, and then if you'll notice, the Banter with Barlowe podcast had a guy called the Bladder King, and so did we get millions of views and listens? I'll let you be the judge on that, okay? No, we didn't. But, hey, if I had the marketing and all that skill and dropping all these commercials and whatnot, then maybe I would. But until then, hey, until UNICEF comes out, we're the people to do the podcast, okay? So I wanted to talk about that. I also want to talk about another little thing. This is kind of weird. It happened not too long ago, but I was buying water. We have a 5 gallon water filter thing where you put the 5 gallon jug upside down in the thing, and then you get water out of it. So I was going to the grocery store because we exchanged the water jugs when they're empty for new ones. So the grocery store super super busy, right? And then it looks like a manager, right? She comes around, she opens up a new checkout line, which I hate self checkout lines. I hate them. I don't know why I do, but I can't stand them. Anyway, what we'll do a follow up show on that. Self checkout or regular checkout? Which one do you like? You be the judge. Anyway, old girl's about to check me out, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this older guy. He's walking up. He's pushing a full cart. The cart is completely filled to the brim with two things: 24-pack of Miller Lite and Tide laundry pods in the bucket, like the circular bucket that's like $30-$40 at the grocery store. You know, it's got like 50 pods in it, whatever. So obviously, you already know what's about to happen. So my man walks right out. Meanwhile, I'm paying $50 for water. This dude just pushed a cart of beer and laundry pods, hundreds of dollars, I guarantee it, right out the door. Not a thing was even said. I'm just like, oh my God. That shit bothers me. I don't know why that shit bothers me, but it's like, you know, I wanted to go grab the cart and be like, quit doing this and buy it the right way, or quit stealing shit because now you're making all the prices on everything else go up. So I don't know. I just can't stand a thief. That's just my whatever, but I can't stand it. Anywho, we've babbled and we've bantered quite a bit. So hopefully you enjoy the fantastic vacation we did, even though it was cut short by 3 days, and we came back. Um, all in all, we had a really good time, and we're really thankful, and we learned to be thankful and appreciative of of what's really important. And I feel like that's a good way to end it. You know what I mean? So I hope you and all yours had a really good you know, Christmas or whatever you celebrate, and a good New Year's as well. So 2023 already, that's crazy. And who knows what's coming in the future here. So we're gonna keep on bantering, and until next time, we'll see you then, guys. Have a good one. All right, so this is like the behind the scene footage, right? So there's the video of that, or the audio, I should say. That's the second segment. Kind of have some things that I wrote down here that I wanted to address, and I just like pinged them off, pop, pop, pop. And so now I'll add it to the show and I'll edit it up. And so now you, as the viewer, you'll be able to see all this. So I think it's pretty neat. I might try it. We'll see how it goes. You know, if I enjoy it and I like it, then I'll probably keep doing it. So till next time, guys. We'll see you then.